Hello, I'm Alison Riley from the Literacy Company. I'm one of the consultants here and I also lead on our products. There are two sides to the business at the Literacy Company. We do school support as well as products. The fact that we go into schools is one of the major kind of things that influences our products, because we're able to see what works well, where we can make improvements, and really helps us to make sure that things like Pathways to Read are the best product that they can be.
So the impact on children has been phenomenal, and that's the whole point of everything that we do, isn't it? It's best impact for the children. I think the love of those texts, those meaningful experiential texts, cannot be underestimated. The depth and the experience which the children have, the empathy, the social and emotional aspects, the environment texts, the texts matter to the children, and that makes a huge difference. But also when we're monitoring in school, what we can see is that children's love of reading has significantly improved because they love those texts so much. And we love those texts, and they love the quality of the books, and it's just the full package. But the other thing is, as a head, those texts meet the needs, and Pathways meets the needs of every child in that class, because everybody is taking something from that learning and that experience. And I think that is an absolute joy to go into the classrooms and observe.
So why did we write Pathways to Read? The first reason really was to help the teachers, to support them with planning, because planning for reading is really tricky. Being able to kind of choose the right books, get the pitch right. The amount of time that it takes to kind of plan a whole class reading session is really time consuming. We also wanted to make sure there was good progression in all of the reading skills, as well as developing a love of reading, really engaging children with text and showing them a range of really high quality texts that are either windows for them to look out on the wider world, and also for them to be mirrors so that they can look in and see themselves.
We've implemented Pathways to Read since the beginning. We started off with lots of training from the Literacy Company about shared reading, where we got some model lessons and some planning workshops. So we did have some of the systems in place, but then when we've received the planning and the high quality texts that come along with it, things have got a lot better for the children. They love the texts, they love the lessons. It's been really clear using the mastery keys, the focuses that children have on the learning, to ensure that we are making sure that children get every step that they need to throughout a lesson.
Well, I've progressed in the reading standards and everything, so I don't know what colour it is, but I went from one colour to 2 colours up, I think. I would say that I did feel more confident reading in front of the class and everything.
When we first started Pathways to Read, members of staff were a little bit worried, as we'd been used to book banding books and children accessing their book banded books during guided reading lessons. And all children in Pathways to Read access the same book, and this hasn't been an issue at all. Children have absolutely loved having books at their levels, and we have not had any children that have not been able to access the text that the Literacy Company has suggested.
Literacy Company have read my school correctly at every step of the dance and supported me as a head teacher and my staff in such a way that they have helped me to move this school forward and to do what we do for our children. And I don't just think it's about buying a product, you are buying more than that, and you are buying into a whole ethos. And I feel so closely aligned to the values of which the Pathways to Read are aligned to my values, to my school, what I want, pedagogy, and I can't say enough highly about the whole experience that we've had.
We usually have a piece of paper that we have questions on, and some are true or false and some are labelling the answers, and some are drawing the lines to match up with the picture with the sentence. And we discuss on our tables which one we think matches up, and so we have a great one big idea together so we can understand which one we think goes strongest.
You get a mat, like a copy from the book, like a couple of pages, and then you will read read some of that, then you'd answer some questions on this reading mat, then you'd read a bit more, answer some questions, then normally there's 2 hard ones what we do with the whole class.
One of the books that we've read that was my favourite was The Goldfish Boy by Lisa Thompson, but we've read others like Survivors and The Great Adventures, and a lot more interesting books, like some about war to follow up with our history topic. But the Lisa Thompson book is my favourite because it's really interesting.
I know that the range of texts are so memorable and so enriching, not just for the English curriculum, but for the wider curriculum, the social and emotional aspects of reading, the fact that children are, the quality and diversity of the environment, the children absolutely are hooked by the text that they read. The fact that they all actually have a text in front of them and they love those books and they cherish them, and those are values which I want for the children in my school for reading. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, it's practiced a lot from my reading lessons because when I've read, I feel really interested by the voices and all of the pictures and everything, and it's just really interested me a lot more in books, and now I read books a lot more to find out what happens, and I read a chapter and then the next day I read again because I want to find out what's happening next.